Coming down to
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it. Medeiros is going to
toss it. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly, Miller's still start trouble. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry!
Good evening and welcome to the LSRL round 14 live from Suzuka. I am James Parfitt, going to be joined in the booth by the mighty Dean Biggles, and I hope you enjoyed that last video there that was made by Biggles himself as well, to give you some information about Japan and the industrialization of the Honda factory there as well, and the fact that the trains have a time delay of literally barely 13 seconds between on a delay. So their average delay is actually only 13 seconds long. But we are here at Suzuka currently as well on the Grand Prix circuit. 5.807 kilometers, 3.6 miles, turns 18, and a track record set by Lewis Hamilton. There's been 6 previous configurations, 3 currently in use. Now you've got the Grand Prix, you've got the West and the East circuit, all being used currently at this moment in time. But we are here at round 14. It's near the end of the show. It's coming towards the end. We've got Gilles Villeneuve next week and then Interlagos rounding us out after that as well. And this is the current championship standings. J Smart is leading the way by 15 points over Elliot Borg, with John Silver in third on 143. That is really the main protagonist battle this evening. First, second and third, there on your screen, separated by 32 points, which isn't massive. John Silver still has a chance, but he's got a very big outside chance. Dylan Gonaz in fourth, look like he's comfortable. Matt Miller and Thomas Boniatti and Nathan Graham all battling away for 5th, 6th and 7th. Daniel Johnson, Ryan O'Connor, Michael Kostick and maybe Tyler Gatke there for that 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th section. Mason Sagar, Sean Atkins, Carl Halitsky and Steve Rubens beyond that as well, with Zachary Kokis, Lindsay Green, Anthony Giuliano, who's not here tonight. He is currently on I think he's flying back from Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. So it should be an absolute barnstorming one. Then in the Constructors' Championship, we've got Bullshit Racing leading by 19 points. Thank you very much. From Clutches of Wales, from Scudiero Andromeda, Victoria's Secrets, Burnt Rubber Racing, Shyline, Broken Wings, Cobalt, Blue Ballers and Part-Time Pros. Now we have just gone into qualifying here, guys, as well. And what an amazing evening of racing it's going to be. We've got 15 minutes of qualifying. You've heard me chat enough. Let's bring Biggles into the booth. Good evening, young sir. How are you? Oh. It will be as well with Dan Peoples. Toxic Munchkin, Jamie Dengle there. Morning all. Is this ACC or iRacing? It is actually iRacing. And you say no comms. It must be your volume, sir, because I believe that myself and Biggles are coming through quite happily. So I'll be very surprised if you're not hearing either of us. I'm a little bit concerned if you're not, but apparently you should be hearing fine. It is iRacing, it is the W12s, 15 minutes of qualifying and a 3-lap sprint, and then a feature race to finish off there as well. Mandatory pit stop with a change. Can hear you, but not Boggs. Who's Boggs? Biggles talk?
I'm here, my friend.
I know you are. I don't know what's going on. You're
I was listening back to the stream. Biggs, I think it's Biggs. You can't hear me? I hope not. I had all that interjection in my head planned.
Yeah, but what's worse is your little bar's moving in OBS. So I'm a bit of a surprise. Yeah. I don't know. Last time out there, guys, in the Nürburgring.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you hopefully as well. So it was Jay Smart, Nathan Graham, and Mick Miller on the Nürburgring for the sprint, and then in the feature it was Graham, Silver, and Gonaz. So it's going to be a tight one. Two tracks remaining here. Bar, of course, this one. So technically we've got 3 to go. And Jay Smart leading the way, but only by 15 points. Now, the interesting thing about this is Jay Smart is not here this evening. Elliot Borg is. So, Elliot Borg has got an opportunity to make massive gains here and to try and, well, close that gap, and hopefully, he might be able to overtake him.
Oh, this is an absolutely perfect opportunity for him to seize that opportunity, of course, and Jay Smart as we're going to get finalising ourselves down to the end of the championship. So you've got to get maximum points here this evening, as well as Mr. Jonas Silva. He needs to, for the Colombian driver, seize that opportunity so that when Mr. Jay Smart does come back, Jay Smart, well, going to be right on the bubble there. Could come down to a showdown of 2008, for example, World Championships that have been decided in Interlagos for the final round. That would be very, very interesting and spicy, James. And yeah, exactly. One I was going to say to a quote before you too, but it's one more chance to make sure you're not left without a chair when that music stops, isn't it? As Silva does go and sets a statement right up there for the Scuderia Andromeda racing team there. 129.69 on your Suzuka FM dial.
Yeah, he is. 12. What are we on the radio? 129 FM or AM, whatever. Never mind. Whatever it is, you are here this evening as well. Can hear him now. Well, I'm glad about that. Toxic, I'm glad about that. I'm not quite sure. Why are you still awake anyway? You know, it's like 2:20 in the morning, Mr. Dengle. Why are you still awake? Is that because you're having sweet dreams about this Monday for the JPB Clio Cup? Is that what it is, or have you had nightmares?
Had too much sake, I guess.
Yeah, probably. He's probably just sat there thinking, what can I do? Why am I not asleep? Oh, let's go watch some. Oh, he's got too fake. Do you know what you need, mate? Some Ashton and Fincher teething powder. That works wonders. I did an absolutely stellar job on my children with that. Teething powder, just chuck it on the teeth, done. No more. Or, the other way, slight little bit of whiskey in the bottle. Never had toothache again, funny enough. But there we go. What more could you ask for? But Nathan Graham is here as well. He's currently on a quick lap, currently at this moment in time, flying along on this circuit as he is coming round Spoon and then down that long back straight through turn 15, the left-hander, of course, and then into Casio Triangle, where he's got the right, left, and then the right-hander of turn 18 to finish off this lap. It's going to be an interesting one here, Biggles. What do we reckon of Suzuka, though? Because it's a difficult circuit overall, and these guys have gotta put it on the money.
Yeah, this is one of those circuits there, James, that all the drivers kind of want to win. And in the introduction video that I wanted to kind of mention about the fact that I showed a couple of different tracks, of course. Monaco, that's one that drivers in F1 want to win, of course, but not in the game, or simulator, which we don't have in the iRacing, but Spa. So this is the driver's track, of course, the test track for Honda. It sweeps left and right. It's got bumpiness. You've got up and down. You've got overtaking opportunities. You got Prost and Senna moments, of course, going back in the day. You've had Niki Lauda and James Hunt moments. It's just the driver's track, so nailing it perfectly feels good. Absolutely. One little mistake, of course, on a high-speed track like this, you scrub a lot of time, so it's all about the qualifying. And once again, mentioned also back on that video there that a lot of the times the drivers will win the race statistically from pole. So right now, that is where you want to park that car, and not into the fence like that, Nathan. Yeah, James, sorry, I got excited. I was on Nathan's nose cam, and
was it Nathan or was it Zachary?
I felt it. It was Nathan actually on that case. But yeah, Dan, at the moment, what you missed at the moment because you said you were packing up your computer to head to overseas. Yeah,
sunny Sweden.
What I wanted to mention at the moment that the pit lane entrance says thank you very much, Dan.
It does. Thomas Boniatti on a little bit of a flying lap. Currently got a purple in sector 4 before he goes into 5. That's the interesting thing about this, is when you look through the racing sectors like we did on that intro, there was only 3. iRacing's giving it, well, 6.
6 sectors?
Yeah.
It has, isn't it?
It's giving it 6, but when you look back, it's actually technically 3. That first part, the second part, and that third one. So, yeah, should be an interesting one.
Elliot Bug up into P2 there, James. Said, obviously the DRS zones you wanted to mention. I mean, James Giver's taking some hot lap around here again soon with one of those fantastic gladiators.
Let's see if Alex Amadon's going to go round, and we'll see what we can pick up. See if
anybody in the chat at the moment, please let us know if Japan is one of those tracks that you would like. Right. Alex is going to be looking pretty good here, James.
Yeah.
Start another lap as well. It is. It's damn good.
No, it's going to stop. Daniel B. Johnson. Let's see if Daniel's going to go round as we head down into turn 1. We're going to be looking on the left-hand side here, guys, as well, because it is a fast sweeping right-hander. There we go, we're going to be sweeping around into turn 1, up into 5th gear, and then we're going to run up through the S's, 6th, holding 7th, keeping it for 7th, and then through again on the gas. He's been up between 7th and 5th at the moment. We're in 5th as we head out round Dunlop, now up into 6th gear. Then we're going to be flick switch up to 7th, holding 7th all the way into Degner 1. Oh, fast plummeting corner, and then down through the gears, 4th gear there for Daniel Johnson, coming out of Degner 2, and then we're going to be going into the slowest corner on circuit, the hairpin, 2nd gear, hands all the way round in the steering wheel, and then we're going to be on this long run all the way round into Spoon, which is turn 12. here this evening, and then we're going to be hooking it up on the left-hand side of that car. We'll try to take as much of the inside curve, get the run on the outside, let it drift a little bit out. You can take a little bit more than the outside that Daniel Johnson did do there. You can let it run a little bit more, and then we're coming in through 180R round into the Casio triangle now. Fast left-hander, no lift, straight flat into the triangle, just under the bridge. We're going to start looking at hitting the brakes. And then into Casio triangle, second gear, keeping it not down into first because your back wheels will go round faster than that Ferris wheel on the left-hand side there, I can tell you that much. And that, my dear sir, was a lap of Suzuka.
Absolutely, thank you very much. Not Fuji, Suzuka.
I nearly called it Fuji at one point. I did have to check myself.
Well, the two famous tracks, of course, and Fuji was added recently to the Formula One, well, the iRacing calendar, of course. Any car you want to throw around that track, welcome to. Of course, it's one of those drivers' favourites as well. Ethan had a little bit of a mistake, I believe, there, James. So he had was looking good through some of those mini sectors, of course. 7 on as we're mentioning here at the moment.
Yeah, John Silver just goes on to that back line. That's where Johnson really needed to be. Out on that curb a little bit more than he actually was, so he needs to be a little bit further out before he can really kind of hook up Spoon, to be fair. Let's see how he gets, sort of John Silver gets on through the Casio here. Not really.
It's a spork, James. It's a spork.
A what?
Elliot Borg. Let's have a look at Elliot. A couple more sectors to go. Final sector, actually. Elliot Borg going to navigate through the Casio triangle there. Elliot, get on the power, get on the gas. One more corner. Don't worry about the Ferris wheel to your left-hand side. Hug the apron and see that Mr. Elliot Borg's time at the moment is going to be crucial in the championship because he needs to get it. Second's okay. Front row is good, but he wants to be on the frontest of the front row, of course. And Alexander's the one denying him at the moment for part-time pros racing team.
There he is, Alexander Amadon, currently sitting in first place. Not really in the championship fight. John Late, I think it was his first race last week, if I'm not mistaken, and scored 12 points. So he's not really in this. So from Elliot Borg's point of view, the only reason that Amadon can really assist would be the fact of helping Nathan Graham out. So I'm sure Borg is not entirely going to be happy about the fact he's got Amadon in front of him, but at the same time it's going to be another challenger that Elliot Borg has got to work through to get these points. He needs these points for the championship. He needs this. So is this a fixed setup or open? Is setup? It's a fixed setup, and they are in the W12. Now, there was an announcement coming out as well that I want to bring your attention to. Obviously, JPB will be looking at broadcasting next season's race as well. Okay, now the announcement come out, I believe it was yesterday. It says, we have not decided on a car for next season. We will make that determination after the recruitment season. I don't know if they have all the bugs worked out on that W13. We will not go to open setups at any point. So from that, somebody come out and basically said, Tyler Gatke come out and said, yeah, not sure if they've worked out all the W13 bugs yet as well. And then Ray McGeechee, after that, replied with, I've driven a bunch of laps, and like Lewis said, they should have thrown it in the trash. So whether or not that's a hard opinion on a W13, so that is an official announcement from the LSRL.
Nathan!
Not decided on it.
There.
Yeah, not decided on the car for next season.
Yeah, they are currently at the moment. I even mentioned that, I believe, too, in the Discord link, in the Discord league, of course, and you can find that information in the description below there if you want to join this fantastic racing league. It's not just Formula One, and it's not just dictated whether or not it's going to be W12s, W13s. Hard beasts to drive, so definitely a lot of the times you won't get open setups, fixed setups, as generally. I don't think I've ever casted a league W12s or W in the past that had that. It's just too much. But I did mention, James, that do we have to stick with one car? Why can't we throw W12, a IndyCar, a hypercar in there as well? Maybe even Formula 3 and have multi-classes.
Oh, mate, because that would just be an absolute chaotic crash fest.
Yeah.
It would be horrendous.
You never know.
Lotus 79 next says Toxic in YouTube chat. Maybe, mate. You don't never know. So it's going to be an interesting one to see what happens here. I think they're going to use this recruitment part of the season to basically see what the car is going to be doing, what the W13 is going to be doing. Don't get me wrong, I'd love to see the W13 on track, but you have to put up what's going to give you the best racing. And if most people are not happy driving a car that's a complete, you know...
Now,
Okay,
James,
sorry.
did I tell you about the time of one of the other racing leagues that one of the IndyCar engineers used to run it, an actual IndyCar engineer run the league, and they wouldn't even race the latest IndyCars. They'd race an earlier model because it was just too damn difficult to set up and for drivers to drive. And he is an engineer for IndyCar, so if he was saying it's tough, well, it's tough. So
Yeah, I don't know.
it's kind of like Max Verstappen coming in going, I don't like to drive the W12, the 13. I mean, so.
I just think from the perspective of it, right, and I don't know, maybe it's a bit of a conceited opinion because, as you all know, I do have these wonderful opinions as well regarding iRacing as a platform and stuff like that at the same time. I just think that I can't see why they would come out and say, we're just going to release one car. I want to see multiple. I don't just want to see one. But I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll show you the grid before we go into the sprint race. Nathan Graham in first, Alexander Amidon second, Elliot Borg third, Mason Sagar fourth, John Silver fifth, Carl Halitsky sixth, Ryan O'Connor seventh, Daniel Johnson eighth, Thomas Boniati ninth, Zachary Kokis in 10th, Gregor Georgiev in 11th, and Lindsay Green down in 12th place. I want to see more. I don't just want to see one car. I want to see multiple cars. I want to see multiple LMDHs.
There's a couple of reasons I think as to why they want to do that and not do it, because of the fact that, for example, if the car's not mimicked the true pace. So for example, Red Bull go in there and the Mercedes is much quicker and everybody wants to choose a Mercedes, then Red Bull don't do it publicly. Represented the game. So that's probably one of the reasons why I think some of the companies don't want to do that. Some of the manufacturers and stuff like that. That's only kind of one of the things I think that they might not want to do it. Because it doesn't look them good. Sim racing's massive online, of course, there's so many people. They don't want everybody just jumping into a Mercedes, for example, because they go the Red Bull shit. Oh, my apologies. Exactly. So, I don't do that very often on air. I do apologize about that one. But that's the example, you know what I mean? Like, so Red Bull then go, well, we'll pull our car. We don't want to be a part of iRacing because of the fact that it's not simulating our real car, which should be better. Mercedes currently at the moment, but it is what it is. Racing. We've got motor racing to go, James, and this is a sprint one, so 3 laps. That's all you get.
3 laps before we go into the actual race. This will set the race grid for us as well, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen here with Nathan Graham. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lights out and away we go here in Suzuka, and it is Nathan Graham and his incident to the back of the field. Thomas Boniati and Ryan O'Connor did not get off the line, but Nathan Graham did. Elliot Borg jumped Amidon, which was vitally important for him in the championship fight there as well. Thomas Boniati, Lindsay Green, Grigor Georgiev, all involved in an incident at the back of the field, but currently Nathan Graham out in first place, Elliot Borg second, Amidon third, and Silver down in 4th place. Your closest battle is this one with Mason Sagar and Carl Halitsky. Sagar has just gone round the inside of Dunlop before he goes around Degner 1 and Degner 2, and then off again up into the hairpin. I would say everybody got away cleanly there, Biggles, but they really didn't.
No, Thomas didn't, Grigor didn't, and Lindsay didn't, but I tell you what, Nathan did. A fantastic launch. I was actually on board of him in the rear wing, and I thought, wow, that's the perfect launch you could do for a perfect start of a sprint race, of course, because I'm going to allow people enough opportunity to get the DRS and the opportunity, but so his battles brewing, of course, for the rest of it. Silver needs to get some places here. Of course, Elliot Borg needs to try to get past Nathan. I don't quite think he's going to have enough time to do it, but we'll see how it pans out. But Silver's now putting a bit of pressure, and he needs to because of this. James, side by side, got to take a gamble here right now. Yeah. Trust in the car, trust in the loud pedal, trust in your braking points as you go into the Casio triangle, allowing space to the left. James bumping and grinding, sends him off into the gravel. Got to cut back on track and lose a couple of places there. Oop, that's frustrating for his championships hopes as well too, but thankfully there is another race to come after this.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how happy John Silver's going to be about that, because Abaddon did drift the car out wide after he turned the corner, and you know, if you're going to make the corner and you're going to make it drift it wide, mate, you got to at least get on the brakes to slow the thing down. But just didn't look like he got it slowed down enough there as well. And Mason Sagar is currently sitting in 5th place. John Silver back down here in 7th. Not going to be a happy bunny, and I can tell you that now. He's going to be. He always comes in smiling and laughing, and yeah, I had fun and enjoyed it. And guarantee, with this close to the end of the championship and battling away with somebody who's not in the championship and has joined late in the series and then being bumped off, I can see there's going to be a foul taste in that mouth, I'll tell you that much, of that Colombian, and it certainly isn't going to be a flavoured coffee that he's been down in, I'll tell you that much. But Mason Sagar with Kokis right in front of him, and Carl Halitsky tucked up right behind him.
I can tell you a couple of Spanish words that you're probably shouting out in that cockpit right now, but I won't repeat that on air for sure. But Zachary, the Clutches of Wild Racing team there, 6 positions gained there. What a great start there for the 82 machine up in the P4 currently at the moment. And as we're seeing currently to there, James Kyle and Mason Sagar into the old Casio Triangle course. As I said, this track is a great one for the drivers. There's also great overtaking opportunities. That's one of them at the moment, if you can make it work, and unlike what we just saw before in the lap earlier. But final lap coming up right now goes by very quickly in the sprint series.
Yeah, it definitely does. And Halitsky made that move past Sagar there as we're on board with John Silver. We're going to sweep up through the S's. Left, right, left again. We're going to try and tighten up this one. We want to keep into the curb, take that late apex just about now, and then round Dunlop we go. That long left-hander. We don't want to let it drift too far out, because if we hit the curb, good night Vienna. It's over. You are in the canal. It's all gone wrong here for John Silver, and now he's trying to fight his way back through with Mason Sagar and Carl Halitsky in front of him as we're coming up into the hairpin. He wants to get on the brakes. He wants to try and get out the inside. He's not. There's a big puff of smoke from Sagar and Halitsky in front of him. Is this going to be Silver's chance? Sagar made the mistake. We're going to run around 200R. We're on the right-hand side. Here we go. We're going to be through, I believe, coming down into Spoon. Is Silver going to run it around the outside? Is Sagar going to defend? Silver's off. He's going to carry the speed. He's got to get on the gas. Oh,
he's got the racing line, James. He's got to commit to it exactly. But Mason Sagar wants his one back, and Mason Sagar can get this one back. Not quite yet. He might be thinking about, obviously, Casio. He's going to make a run on the inside here. A little bit of space left, and there it is, James. And now, this is it, the all-important corner. I don't think that Silver's going to risk it too much, my friend, to send a dive bomb in there, because the race is done. Nathan's crossed the line and has won our sprint race.
Yeah, yes. Nathan Graham is your winner. Elliot Borg, Almadon, Kokis, Halitsky. Then that battle with Sagar and Silver. Sagar got it into Casio Triangle. Daniel Johnson, Ryan O'Connor, Gregor Georgiev, and then Tamas Boniadi from Bullshift, who's got no nose cone. Well, he's got the cone. He hasn't got the end plates and the rest of it. No, he doesn't.
He's still going to cross the line anyway, so you don't need it.
He's going to cross the line.
I picked it up. It's got that multi-million-dollar diamond on it from the Jaguar racing team. So
oh, yeah. I wonder if the guy who's down out in Monaco, I wonder if he's got that yet. But there you go. Nathan Graham is your winner. Elliot Borg, Amadon there as well. Zachary Kokis, Carl Halitsky in 5th. Mason Sagar 6th. John Silver 7th. Daniel Johnson 8th. Ryan O'Connor 9th. Grigor Georgiev 10th. Thomas Boniadi 11th. And Lindsay Green at the back in 12th place there. Now, we go into a brief little warm-up before we go into the main feature race here this evening as well. Well, that was an interesting one, I think.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we got to expect, and we have seen it all season, in a 3-lap sprint out shootout you're going to have, you will see drivers, risking it for the biscuit in places that they wouldn't generally do for this feature race coming up. So, granted, opportunities. One thing you'd have to say in that one with Mr. Silver, that contact there that cost him a couple of places. Yeah, once again, he might not be happy. He might be shouting out a few words in Spanish in that cockpit there that we don't want to repeat. But either way, it's going to give him an opportunity now in the feature race a little bit more, be higher up in the grid, and an opportunity for him to get a race win, of course, and to give his championship hopes, because he's 143 points. You said he's right on the limit now, James, of perhaps still in the championship hunt,
Yeah.
Jay Smart not here, remember? Elliot Borg, he needs to get ahead of Elliot Borg somehow. Elliot Borg will be starting behind him in this race. He's got to keep Elliot Borg behind. He's got to maximize points because a race would be fantastic for the Colombian driver. Keep his championship hopes alive. Just going to be whether or not anybody's going to be able to keep Nathan as well, too. We see Nathan, remember, coming into the championship a little bit later, but man's on a mission. Definitely firing up on all cylinders in this one. If he started the season with everybody else, he would definitely be in the championship hunt, but he's going to end the season on a high, and that's what Nathan wants to do. Keep it out for Alexander as well. Amindon, that also that is the teammate of Nathan that's been really performing quite well. And Zachary, not to mention Zachary, of course, he gained a lot of places in that first sprint race.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. Let's see how we go. We've got about a couple of minutes left of practice. Hope you're all well. Don't forget, guys, give the video a big old thumbs up. And if you are here for the first time, subscribe, turn on the bells. That would be absolutely amazing as we're pushing, just hit 880 subscribers. 120 away from that 1,000, and you've got less than 5 weeks to go to get to 1,000 subscribers. And Biggles, what's the reason for the 1,000 subscribers before the 22nd of May?
I was going to ask you that, James, but you already led me into that question. Clever broadcasting course from the VCO nominee awardee. Yes, James. Well, Foodcast. We know how much James loves his food. So we've elected as the community here at JPB, as well as all the other racing communities, have said, okay, James, you can talk the talk. We need you to talk the talk about the food and show it online and broadcast it online at least. Well, it doesn't have to be live, of course, James, but at least do a food cast there of your Spanish adventures, those tapas and all the other jazz on your holiday. So hit 1K before James leaves. He jumps on his plane to fly to Spain. And then you're going to get a food cast from James, a food podcast.
Yeah, but it's got to be before I go, right?
But you still have to do it.
It's not going to be while I'm out there.
But as soon as, it has to be before you put your foot on the plane. As soon as those doors close on the plane, as they say, as soon as those doors close on the plane, that's it.
Okay.
That is the last moment everybody has to hit 1K. So if you're going to get your grandpa, your grandma, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, your pets. Get your pet in there to subscribe if you need to. It doesn't matter. Make it happen because we want to see that happen.
Okay, well, there we go. That's the rules. If we don't hit it before I go to Spain, no food. We're going to
have a lot of pain.
Yep. You're going to have a lot of pain.
And what about fantastic sponsors, James? Real quick to go over while we're having that warm-up at the moment too. So we do have some fantastic sponsors here.
Yeah, so we've got Mr. Hedge Photography, who does all the photography for us. We've got Wilder Graphics, of course, who do liveries. You can check out all the descriptions for these guys down in the YouTube video below. Of course, Butt Kicker there as well. Sim 3D, who have provided us with a wind machine, I believe it is, as well, to raffle off to the community. So massive thanks to Sim 3D as well. And of course, Grid Finders on there all at the same time, so you can go and check out them as well. But thank you so much to all of them for getting involved in this amazing season here on the Lightspeed Racing League for the round 14 of this epic season of racing.
A long season, epic season, of course. I like to see how a lot of the drivers are committed because it's a good season. Also means that drivers can come and go, like obviously commitments, just as you saw today, heard tonight too, with Jay Smart. And just explain that prize as well too. You got about 30 seconds to change that, maybe even less there, James, before they're gridding up. No, actually, we'll talk about that later because they are gridding up.
Yeah, Nathan Graham, Elliot Borg is first and second, Amadon and Zachary Kokis in third and fourth, Carl Halitsky, Mason Sagar, John Silver, Daniel Johnson, Ryan O'Connor and Grigor Georgiev rounds out your top 10 with Tamas Boniadi and Lindsay Green behind them. So let's see how this one all pans out here with Nathan Graham on pole. No Carl Halitsky, he's not on the grid at this moment in time. We've got 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and it's green for this 30-lap feature. And it's Zachary Kokis got an absolute flyer. He's put himself right up beside Nathan Graham, almost going into turn 1 there, and that was an absolute stunning start from Zachary Kokis here for the 30-lap feature. Well, can't ask for much more than that.
Well, whatever he's got launch control out of this world. He gained a lot of places in the previous round. He's gained 2 just like that. What a launch. Elliott bogged down a little bit, actually, believe it or not there. So that was the reason why in the second row there. And he was also on the soft tyres, which was really surprising. You usually give a little bit more traction. Nathan's off at the moment. Almost got a 1 second gap there, but that's the rest of the field behind James. And that is the lap 1, half of lap 1 even at that.
Yeah, Daniel Johnson there just about to lose a place to Alexander Amadon. Of course, from the part-time pros, Johnson's trying to come back up in the inside here. Is he going to be able to make it stick? I don't think he's going to be able to run him around the outside of Spoon. That's not the best idea. Both men are on the mediums. Oh, contact with Silva. Oh, Silva's still going. Only just, mind you, but he is still going. Currently at the moment here on track is John Silva, but there was contact with Johnson in front of him in the yellow and blue from the Cobalt Racing team. Silva's tightened that up. Is not... From Silva's point of view here, Biggles, he's not looking comfortable with this car. I've got to be honest. He's made some uncharacteristic mistakes so far.
I think it's the pressure at the moment mounting on him. James knows he has to throw almost everything in here, including the kitchen sink in this championship to keep the championship hopes alive. Elliott Borg, of course, is throwing everything in the back there of Zachary as well to keep that. And while they battle, of course, I think Nathan's going to have a smooth operator sailing up the road. But early days, of course, they do have a mandatory pit stop. And they do have a fast repair if you want to choose to use that one. Hopefully not for many of these drivers, but it is available. And that is your current situation. Elliott Borg now on the back there of Zachary. You've got to make those soft tyres work there. Because Elliott Borg, of course, had something wrong with his race start there. Got bogged down a little bit and cost him that place currently at the moment. Yeah. Zachary's holding in P2.
Yeah, he definitely is holding him here. He's doing an absolutely stellar job. Here's Zachary Kokis, and there is the looming Elliott Borg coming up behind us from the Ball Shift Racing team. So, thank you. Here we go into... Always got to check myself. He runs a little bit wide there as he's coming up now. Here comes Borg. Borg needs to clear him as soon as possible. He's got up the inside as they're going to run around 180R. Is it going to be the first left-hander? Oh! No quarter given by Elliott Borg. No parlay needed for Elliott Borg there. He was straight through on Zachary Kokis. Job done. Sagar running there as well with Alexander Amadon, and there is Mason Sagar on your screen in the VR, of course, driving these W12s, currently flying along quite nicely. John Silva is trying to make a move past Daniel Johnson, going down into turn 1 here, and DRS will be activated after this lap. So these guys will be able to do the job, but it is currently there Mason Sagar chasing down Alexander Amadon. Of course, you can see Mason on your screen up in the bottom right-hand corner in his VR driving these W12s.
Yeah, I think Mercedes might not be happy about you having Red Bull Racing up on the wall there, Mason Sagar. But once again, James, we've said this before, look at his arms.
I don't want
we won't even go into these
They're all
drivers,
built like tanks, right? If you're wondering what we're referring to. Whoa!
Oh! Benani! Thomas is off into the fence completely. He's bull smashed that car. It is out now. He's got fast repair, of course, to get that towed. But what happened there, James?
Yeah, this is Thomas Boniati. He went off track. It just comes round. I think it just goes too fast here. Yep. Oof.
Was that contact?
Yeah, there was. No, he ran in too hot. The only good thing is he didn't go ploughing into that nose deep. He went in on the side. So whether or not he's still got straight wheels, which it doesn't look too bad to be fair. But let's go back to live pictures. Yeah, he looks all right. What's he like going through? Oh, he's not running full speed though, mind you.
I don't know how you could be fully okay, but they keep his eye on it. Alexander making a run on Zachary. He wants that place back. Zachary has got to deny that one. Overtaken opportunity. That was textbook at the moment for that point. Both those drivers on the medium compound tyres there, James. So 82 and 83 machines. And job done there for Alex up in P3 currently.
Yeah, Mason Sagar now trying to catch back up to John Silva. So let's see how he gets on with Daniel Johnson there. Behind him. Oh, he goes off in Dunlop. There we go. That's the problem. can't go off there, mate. You cannot go off there. And now he's got his Shyline Racing team behind him, teammate of Ryan O'Connor, of course, tucked up right behind him at the moment. Lap 40, 26 to go here at Suzuka. Mandatory pit stops to come. They will have to change tyres from their mediums and them softs, respectively. John Silver was hoping for big things here on them soft tyres. Didn't quite make it work with contact with Johnson.
He might be okay at the moment because Zachary went off track a little bit. So this has allowed John to come back into the clutches at the moment. They're of the clutches of Wells Racing. And that wasn't even scripted, James. That's legitimately how it is. And John on the soft tyres having to utilise that extra traction. Of course, at this point, he's gained 2 positions. He knows that his main contender at the moment is Elliot Borg, as Jay Smart's not in here this evening. So he needs to get ahead of Elliot Borg. Elliot Borg, of course, is on the same tyre situation. So that's going to be interesting how they're going to pan that strategy out. But here he is at the moment within the DRS range, on the bubble of DRS range, as Zachary's going to be burning everything he possibly can to hold him off. And, of course, John has to check his mirrors because Daniel B. Johnson is just in the background as well. That's your battle currently at the moment for P4.
Daniel Johnson looks like he's got that S's line a lot better than basically John has. So it's going to be interesting to see how these guys go on and what Johnson does here, because he looks like he's clearly setting a faster pace than Silver, but Silver's also on that soft tyre where Johnson's on the medium. So of course it's going to hamper him a little bit, but Johnson's got to try and stay with Silver. He's got it. Okay, that's not going to help.
Yep. That's on you, James.
Yeah.
That's totally on you. You said he's got to, I think the rest of the sentence would be stay on track.
Yeah, that was where I was going.
All right. But then again, he's. I mean, the good thing I remember, you have to say, I always say a positive thing. You got time. You got time. Remember, you're 5 of 30. You've got time in this race. Just don't do it, Daniel, please, on the last lap.
Yeah. Not ideal. So I do apologise. There.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
What, for you commentating cursing, James?
Yeah. So
I thought you were going to apologise and say it's exact lock moment, but we're going to go on to that one. Look at this down on the inside there, James.
Oh, Johnson's through. Johnson's through. Is O'Connor going to be looking at coming back up through the S's, mind you? Johnson's tightened up the first part. He's going to put himself all out of sync for this second part. Is he going to be able to do this? We will see here as we jump on to the rear wing of Daniel Johnson. As we go to the rear there, we'll bring you a nice little picture on the front of Ryan O'Connor's front wing while we look back at Daniel Johnson.
Yeah, it goes through the underneath the bridge, of course. So it's a figure 8 track, the only figure 8 track currently in the Formula 1 calendar. Can't make a mistake under the pressure right now. Also keep an eye out in the background. Kyle is just lurking in this one. He knows that if there's a mistake made, he'll seize an opportunity. But this is definitely Action 101. It's called light speed racing. Blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah, the interesting thing for O'Connor now is what he's going to do. There was actually, well, we'll go up to John Silver, because he's currently side by side with Zachary Kokis going through 180R. He's got the run. Where is Kokis? Is he going to be coming in? Is he going to be able to get this? Goes in a little bit too deep. Silver's looking for the run out of the second part there. Looked like Kokis got a little bit of a better run. It looked like almost a medium's giving him a lot more grip than what he should have had there. I'm a bit confused why he had so much when John Silver seemed to have so little coming out of Casio there.
Well, that'll be one for decided there, James, for what's happening at the moment. We're going to get the information about Dan down the pit road at the moment. That should be packing up his computer and heading off into another country, but he is engineering one of those drivers. Two of the battles that are brewing at the moment. So you got that one up there on John, and on back there, of course, there of Zachary. Remember Zachary, that fantastic launch, mate. 2 positions gained there. He's dropped back a little bit currently at the moment, but that is the restart mastermind.
Georgiev is in the wall. Georgiev was in the wall. He's on the grass.
And that kind of reminds me of a Prost and Senna moment, doesn't it, in Japan many, many years ago, but not in this turn because they couldn't even get to this turn.
Yeah.
What just happened, James? We're going to have to go to the replay on that one.
In hindsight, Georgiev should let him through. He has done. But, well, this is it. Just comes in, bounces off the wall there. So he makes a mistake in Degner 2. And then he's on the grass, and you can't stop at W12 on the grass. It's just not going to happen.
Well, you could try, James, but not recommended.
No.
Check out the side-by-side action as well, too. At the moment, still occurring there. Is Mr. Silva now wanting to dispose there of Zachary? I think he may well have got that job done there, James.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did that. Georgiev is in the pits. I'm not surprised about that. I've got to be honest. Thomas Boniatti is dropped down the order as well. He's now just gone past Georgiev, and I think Segar's going to do the same. But it's now on what Silva's going to do. He's got to try and push. He's lost so much time battling away with Kokis here. He's got 7 seconds to the car in front, and that is what he's got to the leader. He's got 15.6 seconds to the leader currently, John Silva, and that, I think, is a lot to ask here, Biggles. I think we're giving the Colombian almost a Superman task to try and get through. I think the terminology, I think you remember that program back when we were younger, Mission Impossible.
Yep. Dun, 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 dun. Exactly. That's probably what we're going through John's helmet right now. He's going to get his head down to focus. Now, worst case scenario, he's got a damage limitation, right? His target is Elliott Borg, okay? To me, nothing else matters. It's got to be Elliott Borg. Elliott Borg, second in championship, 160 points, 143 points for this man that we're watching on the screens. So, damage limitation at this point. Both drivers know that Jay Smart leading the championship 175 points is not here. So, you've got to do what you do, seize the opportunity, what you have. A couple of rounds to go. And Mr. Silva is just going to pan out how close can he get to Elliott Borg. And he's probably sitting there at the moment wondering if Elliott can make a mistake, seize the opportunity. But one thing, James, we are aware of course, on your screen to the top left of your timing, they are both on the soft tyres.
Yeah. So they will be pitting in round about 12 to 15, I expect. And then it's going to be a further, probably a 5-6 laps before we see the medium runners come in, depending on how they take these tyres here in Suzuka. It's going to be an interesting thing. Just briefly, I want to touch back on what we were talking about earlier on with the Mission Impossible. The best part about that intro, boom, on the TV.
The what? What?
Do you remember? Boom.
The what?
Where the guy at the end just goes, boom. Like that.
No, I don't actually remember that one, James.
Blimey.
But,
oh, well, there you go. Maybe it's just my age.
I didn't buy that. I buy my TV license in the United Kingdom. You have to buy. No, of course, we had a lot of British television in Australia. I did 3 television stations when I was Ryan Connor might have had it off track. Yep, I think Ryan has, James.
Yeah, he looks like he's been involved in his own little incident for O'Connor there. I'm sure he's not going to love me when I show this, but let's have a quick look. As O'Connor's coming down into the hairpin. He's going to go round in a circle. Yep. Oh.
No, he's trying to find the little entrance into there to park the car. Come on, Ryan, you can get it.
Yeah.
All right.
O'Connor is round. So the cars are slightly getting a little bit more spread out at the moment. Daniel Johnson here, battling away. He's got Zachary Kokis in front of him. Unfortunately for Zach, he has gone down the order faster than me pushing my daughter on a sled in the snow down a big old hill. I've got to tell you that much. He's sliding down a little bit. He got that amazing jump out with a second, and now poor old Zachary Kokis there, the lumberjack, of course, is in 5th place. I'm sure he's not a lumberjack, guys, if you are wondering. It was a little bit of a thing we had earlier on, wasn't it, in the season, where we were talking about him, and the fact that we express our opinions on the fact that when we do these pictures with the drivers, we do get to see them. Now, these guys just seem to be built like utter tanks. Some of their arms are bigger than my legs, right? And Zachary Kokis is one of them. Now, I did say when he was on screen, he looked like a lumberjack. He should be in a lumberjack shirt, chopping trees there, and that's all I can think of. I've got to be honest, every time I see him.
Yeah, well, James as well too. Well, you know, as you said, who before was dropping? No, well, I think Suzuka is dropping. Like he was running that car, that Tesla car on gas. But here we go. Daniel's more the you'd be talking about at the moment. And Zachary, once again. So Zachary, yeah. In the situation, we'll get Dan. I swear we'll get to your messages in a second, my friend. Just tell the drivers to just choreograph their overtakes when we, you know, according to the plan. It's all written in the notes that I have here at the moment, James. It says on lap 11, Zachary will be passing Daniel. That's what it says scripted here. So I'm just following the rule book. Or the movie script per se, or the racing
crystal
script.
ball.
Yeah.
Following the crystal ball. So there we go. There's a little bit. Amadon's pulled in Borg here. This could be interesting, right? Partly because when we spoke about the standings, obviously Amadon's coming late into the standings here as well. But he's got no, I'm going to put this as a thing of the words here. He's got no standings in the championship currently. He's only on 12 points. Borg's at the top. If Amadon makes this move, what's going to be going through Borg's head now? Because he's on the softs. Amadon's on the mediums. And Amadon's pulled out about 1.2 seconds out of him. You know, and has now got DRS. So, I don't know, from
well, yeah, it'll be interesting
because,
John, oh, snap of an oversteer a little bit further back there from Zachary. But as you mentioned there as well, that John's loving this. Silva is just loving this. He's 10 seconds to change down the road. He wants them to battle. He wants them to get in a tango so he can try to seize that opportunity. Elliott Borg, of course, needs to be just taking it cautious there. Maybe just allow like Alexander there through because of the fact that, remember, they're on different tire strategies. So why would you want to put up a fight? Remember, Elliott Borg just sees the opportunity of getting maximum points here. I'm not sure if anybody's in the ability of touching Nathan's pace. We've seen Nathan before in the past. Part-time pros. Once he's up the road, my friend, everybody's going to need a visa to catch him.
Get your tickets booked onto the jet plane, as they say, because once he's gone, he's generally gone. It's just good night, Vienna. See you later. There'd be no point putting a sponsor on Nathan Graham's car there because the lack of TV time he gets, because once he's out in front, he's generally just run off and left everyone. He doesn't get much, but you can see on the sectors, Borg was a little bit quicker over that lap. So it'd be interesting to see where he is on lap times here. The gap's still out at 7 tenths, so Amadon is still going to get DRS as they come around the final corner, which they're running around now, of course, and then down into turn 1. But I think from Borg's point of view, he needs to really, in hindsight here, Biggles, get a shimmy on, son, should we say, because it's not quite working out for Elliott Borg at this moment in time, and he was a little bit quicker than Amadon over that last lap.
Yeah, we'll see how he's going to hold off the defense too. At the moment, you can see down a half a second there, James. Picture action if you want to see on board as well too. As Dan was saying, engineering for Elliott Borg at the moment, so they're going to Plan Z, which means a 5-stop. All right, yeah, I'm not quite sure that's going to work out there, Dan. But then again, Dan and the pit road do not agree with each other anyway, Dan. So.
Of course, Dan Biggles has recently got a job with the Ferrari F1 team as their engineer, so that could explain the Plan Z and 5 pit stops as well, because we know that Tifosi don't like doing the normal thing that everybody else does in a Formula 1 race. They do their own thing. So now they've brought in Dan Peoples. He's now also as well, they've employed my 5-year-old daughter to draw pictures for them for the pit stop as well. So there's a lot going on down at the Ferrari garage, and my daughter will be drawing the pictures for Dan to come up with the pit stop strategy there as well.
She's probably got more energy in her cell phone than the Ferrari garage have there in their car as well, too, don't they? So we won't go there, James.
No,
you know that for a fact that you'll never be invited to Maradeo, would you, in Italy.
Maranello.
Ferrari. Yeah, after the comments that we're having here this evening, but they're going pit road.
Yeah. Oh, I'm surprised Amadon's gone in on the mediums, though. I thought Borg might have, but I'm surprised Amadon's gone in with him.
That's true. They're like, you go in, I go in, but they're not the same teams, remember? That's bull shift racing there for Elliott and part-time pros from Alex. You can see in the picture-in-picture action. So that's your pit stop strategy. And that's not the best camera to show there, James, but I'll give you a pit lane reporting there. There it is. Ted. We didn't even get time to talk to Ted.
Yeah, Amadon's got softs. Borg's got mediums, so they've swapped compounds. If Borg can only take the softs 14 laps, Amadon's only taken the mediums 14, and now it's got to be the other way round, because Amadon's got to take the softs 16, which Borg wasn't able to do. I can't see this working out so well for Alexander Amadon. I've got to be honest there, but there we go. Let's go back to live pictures and see how this one pans out. But Amadon might have the grip, but whether he's going to be able to have the tyre life, Biggles.
Well, I mute myself for a second. We've been here before, James, haven't we, in the past of the many races now. We're up to 14 of this fantastic Lightspeed Racing series for Formula One, and it's been that we don't know kind of thing, isn't it? Situation of how that tyre is going to pan out towards the end there, and how drivers are handling it. Well, we do know that a couple of drivers are still yet to go. We do know at the moment that Mr. John Silver, of course, is 21 seconds down the road there from Nathan, but he's on the soft tyres. So that'll give us an indication of how, and right on cue, he's going to
the pits, yeah. Well, we just got some information from our pit roving reporter there. Softs were dead for Elliott after 12 laps. So how is Amadon going to take these 16?
Yeah, but Dan, you're talking about the first heavier. I've told this before,
yes,
James.
he talks
the
about
heavier
fuel
load. Yes, makes a massive difference, of course, because the cars are lighter. Means that they're going to be a little less punishing on the tyres. And this is a punishing track, of course. High-speed S's, left and right. It's originally a motorbike track more than anything. Fantastic motorbike track, and it's decided to throw some cars around here. Of course, Honda test track. Will be interesting to see. Nothing Nathan has to once again worry about up the road. It's got a 24-second gap. That should be no problem to go in and out, I would imagine, as everybody else has to make some pit stops. Of course, Daniel E. Johnson has to make a pit stop. He's up 6 positions too, James. So just quietly getting the job done there for the Corbett Racing team. And of course, Zachary, the 82 machine, with arms bigger than the rear tires of the car.
Yeah, he's just huge.
Nathan goes in. They have to make their pit stops. Yeah.
Zachary Kokers is just scarily huge. It's almost like going down a dark alley and meeting the Undertaker. I just wouldn't want to be doing that either. Any more than I want to meet Zach, to be honest. You know what I mean? Because
Zach's the kindest man on the planet.
Yeah, that's the thing. He probably is.
He just looks like oh, there he is. So who's gone in? Zachary's gone in right on cue there, James. So pictures and stuff of all the fantastic drivers that have elected to show their cameras and their 500 square foot basements.
Ryan O'Connor. That's Ryan O'Connor with his 2,500 square foot basement that's just got to rig a TV and a cinema unit in. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting for him to do up my bungalow in there. So come on, Ryan, get on with it. So, you know what I mean? Let's not forget that. He keeps telling me to go and move out to the States. He said, the good thing about moving to the States, I said, what's that? He said, you won't have to stay up till 2 in the morning doing the American League. Which...
yeah, he's got to pack up the kids, find a school,
yeah,
all that sort of jazz. And I'm sorry, British education is better than US and Australian education.
No, I don't. Yeah. At least you don't have to try and teach them English with there, 2 and 2 and 3 and 3. It's just there's a lot going on in the English language. You know what I mean? And you know,
growing up in Australia, James, I'd have British kids coming to my class, you know, in a year during school, like primary and high school and stuff like that. They'd come in there and it'd be like just breezing past everybody, like it's easy, not even paying attention. I was like, how bad is our school system when British kids come in?
Oh, Amadon's got the run, Biggles, 2 seconds there, but he got the run down out of 180R. Is he going to get down into Casio? He's not. but he is going to get him on this start-finish straight. I'm not going to lie here. Amadon with that DRS wide open. Borg weaving more than my nan knitting a jumper. I'll tell you that much. Currently at the moment, oh, he's managed to hold on. Is he going to hold him around turn 1? He is, as he's going to be going up through the S's for lap 17. Amadon's grips coming in now in these soft tyres. They're in their optimal window. Borgs are nearly there. Another lap or so, and Amadon's going to struggle, but at the end of the day, he's got to make use of these soft tyres while he's got them currently at this moment in time as he goes around Dunlop now, coming down into Degner. And Borg looks like he got that lot better run out of sector 1 there, Biggles, and is opening that gap up to about half a second again.
Holding off quite well, of course, as Amadon needs to utilise the fact that you've got the soft tyres while they're fresh. They glue to the track. You can see at the moment how much is glued to the track there as he exits the corner there, as Elliot Borg did a little bit of a lock-up. There's a little bit of a puff of smoke at the back of the tyres there, trying to hold off the pressure there, looking his mirrors, trying to get it done. Further back, of course, you've got Silver's now trying to seize the opportunity. I think Silver might actually seize the opportunity and get the overtake on green. And he needs to, of course, in this championship hunt.
Borg's pulling in Daniel Johnson. Johnson's there just going through the bottom of your screen. There's Borg and Amadon, I can tell you that much. But Silver has all of a sudden overtaken Lindsay Green here. And Silver now has got this man tucked up right behind him as they're going down that back straight as well. Silver moves out to the left, goes round, comes into Cassio under. They're going to be on the brakes just after the bridge. Ooh, Lindsay, a little bit early there, but I don't know if I would have gone on the brakes that early. Daniel Johnson's into the pits. That's going to release Amadon and Borg. But Lindsay Green seemed to be on the brakes a little bit early, but who am I as I'm sat up in the booth and not in the car, of course, as he's now going to battle with John Silver and see how Silver gets on, of course. It's third in the championship for Silver currently at the moment, so it's going to be interesting to see how this one works out. Silver has got 17 points to Borg. He's got 32 to Jay Smart up front, so it's all going to be about that, and there, Lindsay Green has backed off or dropped back a little bit. So we'll go back to the battle of Amadon and Borg once more.
Yeah, James, I was about to say, you are sitting up here and what do we know as broadcasters and casters, but I do know one thing there. I'm going to have to mention it. You know what's coming, don't you? At least we can drive in pit lane without crashing.
Oh.
Anyway.
Stop giving
Dan, you're never going to live it down
just
until I get bored with it.
He's not going to live it down. It wasn't his fault he crashed in the pit lane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was the pit lane's fault. Those walls. They tightened up. I understand.
I don't know. I don't know if that's really the reason.
This is why you if you're going to join this fantastic broadcasting team at JP Broadcasting Team, if you're going to drive, make sure you
drive properly.
To the survive. Here we go. James. Elliot Borg, of course, trying to hold off Mr. Alexander for the part-time pros there, 83 machine on the different tyre compound, trying to utilize those tyres as much as they can before they start falling off the cliff. And we don't know when they're going to fall off the cliff, as you mentioned there, James. Like those soft tyres, are they going to last the distance? 19 of 30 we are currently at the moment here in round 14, live from Suzuka.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, shooting round at Degner. Oh, there is Amadon. He got a little bit close. He has dropped back now. Just out to over half a second coming down into the hairpin. He closes back up once more. So let's have a look through. We're on the back of Elliot Borg. Bottom right is looking forward from Alexander Amadon as we're coming into Spoon. Here we go. We'll stay like this for a lap or so to see how these guys and where Amadon is pulling the gap. He's pulling in a lot quicker somewhere. I can tell you that much. And it's been sectors 1 and 4 where Amadon has gained almost over 3 tenths. A little bit back in sector 5. Of course, he overshot into Degner there. We saw it, and he had to back up a little bit. This is coming into Cassio now. Can Borg hold him off? He's not going to have DRS. Amadon's going to be wide open. You're going to be able to see it pop up. It's going to be like the postman trying to shove a letter through your box that don't fit, and has normally got his foot on the door. But here comes Alexander Amadon as we go down into turn 1. He's on our right-hand side. Is he going to make it through? Elliot Borg's hanging him out, I think. There is Borg. See him just. Oh.
Well, they're allowing space, James. This is crazy going through the S's. And there it is. I was going to say, James, if you can, you go through this. This is side by side brilliantly, but that is not. Well, there it is. You got the action, obviously, live from both drivers' perspectives as well, too. So Michael Massey has a bit of work to do.
Yeah, he does. And here is the replay of that incident. I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work out here, who's going to be to blame, but let's have a quick look. So they're coming through there. Oh, Alex.
Oh. I just think it's a side-by-side through those high-speed S's. That's difficult to do. Like, you got to allow yourself, like, just that. They were allowing, you see, they were allowing themselves enough space, but just a tiny little steer moment there and just turned in is...
Did he turn in?
That's questionable.
Let's have a look. Right, Amadon's line, right? He's bounced off the curb. Oh, I don't know. Let us know what you think in chat, of course, on that one. Big moment in the championship, of course. And now, from Elliot Borg's point of view, he's got John Silver tucked up right behind him.
Oh, this is spicy, isn't it? The championship, remember, they are second and third, the championship here. So any points that these drivers can gain and enable, because Jay Smart leading the championship is not here. So maximum points, maximum risk, maximum, well, danger territory, isn't it? Talk to Maverick about that one. This is Top Gun, danger zone. Currently at the moment, lap 21 of 30, James.
Yeah, and as they say, can Iceman hold off the Maverick of Silver? That is going to be it. Can he hold off? I'll tell you what, I'd love to be a
similar strategy. This is great. This is heating up. This is massive. I have to say, if Silver has a mistake right now, and I'm not trying to commentate curse you there, Silver, because... But if you don't get this job done and you're out of this race, I'd say almost your championship hunt is gone and dusted. So all you got to do is try to find a way past Elliot Borg, and if you can't get past Elliot Borg, settle in behind. But for now, this is going to be great. He wants to seize an opportunity. And if John, and don't forget Elliot Borg, if Elliot Borg makes a mistake here, that's going to be a massive gain there for John Silver. So this is it. Once again, this is second and third in the championship with these gladiators or centurions essentially here at the moment, or actually samurais, James, because we're in Japan.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what happened to Mason Sagar and Ryan O'Connor there. They both crashed at exactly the same time. I'm really hopeful they're not, but John Silver has got the inside run now. Is Elliot Borg going to hold that inside for Casio? Here we go now. Silver goes in, it takes the position away. Borg should get activated with DRS. He has. He got the activation. Poor old Silver took the position away but missed out on the DRS. Borg's going to try and run him outside of turn one. This is going to be side-by-side action again up through the S's. Oh, no. Borg backs out of that one. I want to have a look at this really quickly because I've got a funny feeling here. The two teammates of Shyline Racing have taken each other out.
I wouldn't want to be the engineer down there. What's happened
because they did it exactly the same time here. Ryan O'Connor's done that before. Did he do this all on his own, Mason Sagar, then? Because they both had an incident literally within 2 seconds of each other.
It's a carbon copy there, James. I think they go, well, you do it, I can do it. That's Casio.
Yeah, what did he do, Mason Sagar?
Yeah,
oh!
Ooh.
So he's got to go in the pit lane.
Oh, has he done a Dan?
Did he go into the pit lane?
Did he do it? No, he's not done a Dan.
No, he did do a Dan.
Yeah, that's the pit lane entrance.
Yeah, but he didn't do it on purpose.
It wasn't intentional.
No.
I don't think he wanted to go in there just yet. But anyway, he's in there now, so not too much we can do about that.
John Silver's opened up a 1.5 second gap there as well. I wonder what the conversation was going on in the ball shift racing there with Tamas Boniati, Elliot Borg. Of course, we've got our roving reporter, Dan Peoples, in their chat room. So, Dan, you can let us know, was he happy? Was he not? That's going to be the question.
Yeah, Dan, we can probably go... If you are listening, of course, you may be able to jump up real quick there and give us a bit of a Ted reporting. Apparently, Ted and Crofty aren't getting along too well at the moment. They've had a little bit of a disagreement about Michael Massey being in the pit lane and all that sort of stuff. That's F1 in the real life. This is F1 in the virtual world.
What do you mean they've had a conversation about it? What was Massey in the pits, was he?
They got a bit of a beefing thing. Yeah. Michael Massey was there, of course, because he is he's the racing director of the V8 Supercar series, which is, of course, is in Albert Park.
Yeah.
As well.
What, at the same time as the Grand Prix?
It was, because the V8 Supercars are on like a little bit earlier. I think they are on like Thursday or Friday or something like that. They have that. They have all those other sport races, remember? F2, F3 now as well. And and Ted was like, oh, why is he doing here? Why is he in the F1 paddock? Like, blah, blah, blah. And Crofty was kind of like, why can't he be? Like, there was even rumors about them FIA wanting him to come back and support the current race director. There's all rumors. I can't clarify any of this. I can clarify what that Ted did say, because it is online. He was talking about that. He's not a happy camper about Michael Massey. He even said, like, I don't want to bring up this Michael Massey thing, but he didn't understand why he was there. And Crofty was kind of like, well, you should be. I don't understand. Anyway, there's a little bit of a referee going on between Ted Crap. So either that or that's just hype of the media to try to spice things up. This race is going to be spicing up.
Yeah, the race is going to be getting spicy. Daniel Johnson's closing on the back of Elliot Borg. Just quickly on that situation, right? That poor man was stuck in a situation. He had somebody in his ear saying to him, we need to get this race going. And the quickest decision and judgment he made was letting the cars between the two drivers past, right? He was in the most horriblest position as a race director could ever be in there, because I can guarantee you he was not alone with making that decision. He had somebody from TV saying it cannot end like this for the final race of the season. There has to be action. And he made a decision based off that. No man would outright break a rule on purpose unless he's told to do so. And I believe, and I'm starting it off here, conspiracy theorists, bear with me, that Michael Massey had somebody from TV somewhere along the line saying it cannot end like this. That's my theory.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that one. The F1 Media Liberty Group are trying and stretching things, right? They're stretching things tooth and nail at the moment. At the point, the stretching of them, how to expose it, how to get more excitement into it.
Yeah.
And it's working. It's working. There's also failures to it. That I agree was the classic example. Allowing people to broadcast live, race teams talking directly to the race director and all that sort of stuff, as we're seeing some great pictures at the moment of Daniel there battling on the back there of Elliot Borg, which is crucial, of course, in the championship, because if Daniel does get past Elliot Borg, that'll help Mr. Silva get a little bit more points in this championship. But going to that situation, yes, it's thrown under a bus. Denied or not, the only reason why a lot of people are hating or loving it is because of the Mercedes or Red Bull decision, of course, where it came down to. He's thinking, as a race director, he doesn't care. I mean, I know that for a fact. Any great, marshal, etc., or race control engineer, they're not favoring anybody. They're just wanting to do their job to the safest of their ability. It came down to a situation where it was just thrown under the bus, blah, 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 etc., etc. And it's been mentioned even recently, remember now, in the Australian GP, how that kerfumbling went on recently with those red flags and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's why the talk has gone back to, hey, maybe not just necessarily the race engineers now, that they're struggling. One that used to do it right, of course, was Charlie Whiting.
Yep.
For many, many years. But the thing is, obviously, sadly, Charlie passed away. But apparently, Charlie had a great support team with him. And the problem right now with Formula One is that these race directors do not have a great team with them. They're kind of alone on these decisions. And of course, now the F1 Media Liberty Group, of course, putting pressure on them, saying, you got to do this, you got to do that. I think they've backed off now, thankfully. But yeah, we can't blame Michael Massey for a decision.
He was in the most horriblest human position that you could be in there.
I wouldn't take that job if you paid me $1 million a year, James.
No.
After that, no way. If you offer me $1 million a year right now to take a Formula One job like that as a head steward, no way. Couldn't pay me enough. I did not want to be in that position.
No, and the thing is as well, even if you sat back and thought about it, the restrictions would be, you stay out of my ear. You want me to do a job, let me do it, but I don't want nobody from the Media Liberty Group in my ear roll. I don't want no team managers in my ear roll. And that was the problem. He had pressure from Horner, pressure from Toto Wolff, pressure from TV channels. He had it all. And if one man would hold the pressure like that, they deserve the job itself. Massey was he was strung up. He was literally hung out to dry. He had all of these voices in his ear hole, and he made a decision that was based on that. And I can guarantee he took the fall for that, but he was not the only one involved in that decision. And to be honest, from Massey's point of view, I would have come out and gone, yeah, I made the decision, but so-and-so was there as well, and Bob was there, and Bill was there, and Ben was there, and, Thomas the Tank Engine was in there. Who cares? But he was not on his own. Daniel Johnson.
You know what I'm gonna let's hear this battle. I'm just gonna say we'll wrap that one up. I'm looking forward to reading his book when it comes out, of course, after those NDAs expire and when you can talk about F1 later on. Ooh. Yeah, that'll be the great time to read. But look at this opportunity here. Daniel on Elliot Borg. Crucial, the championship. Elliot Borg second at the moment. Daniel stealing some points away.
Yeah, Daniel Johnson switch around the outside. There looks like to be a speed difference here with Elliot Borg, I'm not going to lie. He was defending well from Hamilton. The car seemed to have pace, but now he just doesn't look like he's got anything in that car. He dropped back from Silver so quick. It was like somebody stuck him on a zip line and run him to the end of Suzuka there, because he dropped back like an absolute ball here from the Ball Shift Racing team. See what I did there? And now it looks like he's going to be he's doing the same again here. I wonder if we can get a confirmation that he is losing pace here on lap 27.
Oh, he might be able to come back at that moment too. Could be charging his battery there, James, to make a season opportunity, because as long as he stays within that DRS range, he's 0.7 and change down the road currently from Daniel, so it may be like building up for a possible another late attack. Either way, that's nothing I have to say that Mr. Silva has to worry about currently in P3. Alexander Almadon in P2 comfortably. Then Nathan, we haven't even seen Nathan. We'll see you soon, Nathan. I promise that one, my friend. It's your fault you're 20 seconds up the road. We're not going to throw you under the bus like Michael Massey. Hopefully, I don't think Daniel's going to try to throw, or Elliot Borg's going to try to throw Daniel under a bus either. Yeah, great puns there, James. I see what you're doing, my friend.
Yeah, I think Elliot Borg, well, Dan's just said his tyres have gone in chat, but I think he's, I don't think that's the only thing. I think he's losing speed here. He's only topping out at 178 down the front straight. Be interesting to see what Daniel Johnson's going to get. If we give you a rough idea, let's go down onto Thomas Boniatti, who's on the front straight. He hasn't got DRS. He's up at 184 already. He's not even into turn one yet. Borg has not got that pace.
Did Borg get damage?
Yeah.
Dan, can you confirm anything about that one? Does he have damage? We can't. Unfortunately, iRacing doesn't really show you the damage as much in the W12 cars. Of course, they definitely do in many of the other racing car series. But
I think he's losing pace here. I've got to be honest. I think he's losing pace, and we're going to look. Let's have a look at what Graham's going to do here as well as he goes down that straight. He's already passed what Elliot Borg has got in pace. Elliot Borg 177 going into turn one. I think he's at least 2 to 3 miles an hour down that on these cars, and I don't think he's got the pace to be to try and keep up, because he's now, if we look at it now, 2.37 seconds behind him.
Yeah, and his last lap too was a 132.11. Just put that in perspective there, that Daniel B. Johnson was a 30.5.
Yeah,
that was only a shy slower of Nathan and Alexander leading this race, which were in the 30s, mid-30 clubs. So absolutely massive difference in pace, almost 2 seconds. So Elliot's struggling at the moment, thinking, okay, second in the championship with no Jay Smart here. He'll lose out a couple of points, no doubt, to the Colombian driver. But at this point, it's all about bringing it home. You're on the penultimate lap. It's just to accept it what it is and see how it's going to pan out for the final couple of races coming up soon.
Gilles Villeneuve and Interlagos. 2 tracks that I do adore.
Love them. Oh yeah, Canada is to me like it's almost like a Australian track, isn't it? It's got high speed corners, it's got overtaking opportunities. It's also around a lake, even though in Canada it's a man-made lake. But either way, it's great. And of course, nothing can compare to Interlagos as one of the. I mean, Silverstone, Interlagos, Italy, Monza. I mean, all those tracks are classics, and nothing. You could have all the money in the world, build it as track as you want to build, but you'll never ever be able to replace those tracks.
No, the history as well. With the history, you can't replace history. You know, that stuff written in the rule book, Senna Prost down into turn one here at Suzuka. It's just history. Hamilton going, underneath Verstappen. History at Monza. You're just not going to get that same history if you come up with a racetrack and chucked it on. You know,
and the chances of rain too, James. Remember, in Interlagos makes a massive difference. You're not going to get that in any of these Arab. Nothing against, of course, the Arab countries. It's just the races you pretty much got like a 95% chance or a 99% chance of no rain. So you're just instantly taking that element out of a race that makes a massive difference, doesn't it? Like once again, is that lock moment.
But then you throw Spa into it as well. You can have rain one side and dry the other. You know, there's just too many variables at some great race circuits. And it's great bringing all these cars in and these circuits in, and not the cars as such, but the circuits. Is, you know, add them to the calendar. But how far are you going to take a calendar? You know, you got 22 races as it is. Where are we going to be in a couple of years' time? 25, 26? They're going to be racing every weekend just to try and get through the calendar, and it's just going to be ridiculous. And here we go.
Well, it'll see how basically just judge it on how grey the eyebrows go
Nathan
to
Graham
Christian
here
Horner.
is going to take the victory. Nathan Graham wins the feature race as well. Alexander Amadon, his teammate, will come across the line here as well. And some could start a conspiracy theorist and say that Amadon took out Borg, but we're not going to start that, as we're going to see him come around. There he is now. Whoa! Stunning. Do love this camera that goes around on the pole position. And Silva is going to take third place. So it's going to be Graham, Amadon, Silva. Your top three.
And Johnson, of course, doing a great job, as you mentioned there. He'll go 4 positions up there and get P4. Ali Borg might not be the happiest of the campers for the bull racing, but he has to take it in there knowing he's still going to be getting more points there on J Smart there, and a little less. Depending on, I've got to have to calculate those race results too from the sprint series as well. Remember we had earlier. Thomas Biati. We also had the other bull Beep racing thing, and then of course Lindsay will finish us up. But we have retirements there, of course. Grigor, Sega, Ryan O'Connor, and Kyle.
The opposite, Connor.
Connor's not here today, unfortunately. Ryan O'Connor was there.
Ryan O'Connor is, yeah. Probably old shy line. But there we go. Going to come across the line now for Lindsay Green. So he's going to be done and dusted, as Nathan Graham does take that victory this evening in the sprint and feature race. Here are the results from that feature. And it is Graham, Amadon, Silva, Johnson, then Elliot Borg, Zachary Kokis, Thomas Boniadi, Lindsay Green, Mason Sager, Grigor Georgiev, Ryan O'Connor, and Carl Halitsky, the last man on your results there. So, well, another one done as the guys line up. Let's see if we can get a picture. There we go. There are your three. Nathan Graham in the middle, Amadon on the right, Silva on the left, and it is job done for these guys, as we do have Nathan Graham in the waiting room, of course, sitting here waiting for us patiently is Mr. Graham. Good evening to you, sir. Hope you enjoyed your Sunday drive around Suzuka.
It was a good drive indeed. I like this circuit too. It's fun. It's like a rhythm track, so you get in the groove.
To be honest, I want to sit here and say, how easy was that for you?
It was quite easy, just mostly because we had some guys having a fight behind me, so I got out front pretty early with a significant lead and just kind of went into cruise mode, which then I think helped with tires and just kind of just domino effects from there. Yeah,
it just seemed to be a little bit straightforward. Job done. On to the next one, really. Do you know, the thing is with that as well, it's got to be about keeping your concentration when you're out in front, right? You can't go and think, right, I've got to get milk, I've got to get bread, I've got to go down the road and get a pretzel after this. You know what I mean? You've got to stay focused on what you're doing.
Yeah, I think something I do, especially when I'm out in front like that and I just need to concentrate, is I put my session best lap up and just try to see if I can keep deltas. That kind of keeps me focused. Otherwise, my mind starts wandering about what I got to do tomorrow and everything else.
Yeah, I think that's going to be, I would do that, mate, as well. Go off shopping. do it. It's going to be interesting. We got your teammate in the waiting room, and I'll have a chat with Alex as well. I don't know if you've had a chance to see the incident with Elliot Borg yet.
I haven't. No. I'm about to go back and watch it right now and see what happened. What do you guys think?
Honestly, do you know what? Right, they were side by side going through the S's, which is never not ideal, but can be done. And I don't know if Amadon caught the inside curb coming out of turn 4, which put him which put his front wheel in front of Elliot's back wheel, and that shot Elliot up into the air. But I don't know if Elliot had much more room to give on that one, Nathan. To be honest, it's a little bit, I don't know, up in the arms, shall we say? You know what I mean? But there we go.
Yep.
Well, Elliot,
I'm trying to find it here. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Elliot will have a completely different opinion. But there we go. Look, Nathan, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, Part-Time Pros. This is actually our first 1 and 2. I'm hoping to go back and watch it, and it's a cleaner 1-2 than it may be. But either way, shout out to Part-Time Pros for putting it on for me, and then my wife for letting me do it.
Always thank the wife, mate. Always thank the wife. Good job.
Oh, yeah.
We're not silly, us up here, us older men, I'll tell you that much. You take care, Nathan, and we look forward to... Hopefully, are you going to be at Gilles Villeneuve?
So I won't be here next week, unfortunately. So 1 week off, and I'll be back for the next one.
All right, mate. Well, we'll catch you in Interlagos then, buddy. You take care.
All right, you too. Bye.
All right, let's bring in Alexander Amadon into the booth. Alex, good evening. How are you, sir?
Doing well. How you guys doing?
I'm all right. You know what I'm going to bring up, right?
Yeah.
Tell us about it. What was your opinion of it?
So I just watched it, and I definitely have a little understeer going into him in the S's. I think wheel-to-wheel racing through the S's probably isn't a smart move in the first place, but I do apologize. I did apologize, and I do apologize to him. It didn't look egregious or anything, but definitely understeered into him, so my fault.
Because some could say, with Nathan Graham out in front, Alex, a little bit of team trickery going on here. But as you say, you got some understeer. Could he have given you more room, do you think?
I mean, yeah, looking at it, maybe, but I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. That's such a fast section of the track, and it's such a hard section to go wheel to wheel in. I think, the mistake could happen like that. If you brake 1 split second too late, then you're understeering in, or if it's so hard to judge those turns, even if you're not wheel to wheel. So, I mean, I'd honestly chalk it up to a racing incident, but I did understeer into him. So apologies if messed up his race.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now from various angles, and it does look like you catch the curb as well, which doesn't probably help you, to be honest. But I'm sure, Elliot's a big man about it, and it will all be good. But, what's the situation with you? Because you come into the series late, you've got 2 races to go. Are you going to be here for Gilles Villeneuve and Interlagos?
Yeah, I should be able to make both the last 2 races. So I signed up late, so they weren't taking people at the beginning of the season, and then they kind of changed their minds about that, so I was able to get in the series just because I was in the GT3 series as well, so I kind of showed that I could race through that. But yeah, I'm glad to be able to race this F1 series, and hopefully I'll be able to do the full F1 series next season too.
Man, that would be awesome. Alex, thank you so much for joining us there, buddy. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Just Part-Time Pros, and then shout out to Elliot. That was some good racing before we collided, and then apologies also to John. I kind of dove bomb him. There was some wheel to wheel on the the sprint race too. We had into the chicane, so apologies to him. But overall fun race. Thanks, guys.
No worries, mate. You take care.
See you.
All right, and we can bring in John Silver into the booth. John, good evening, sir. How are you?
I have a mix of emotions right now.
Okay. Do we have happy emotions, though, John, or are we?
No.
No. Are we missed opportunity emotions?
Dude, okay.
Keep
the heat.
Keep it clean, John.
Okay.
Keep it clean.
Don't worry. It just on the heat I had that incident, and so yeah, I was kind of mad, so I said I need to push because I need to be at prom. And on the race, starting on the race, a little bit like a good start, and then on lap one again something happened, and I was like, dude. So I was pushing so hard to recover, so hard because I had like a little bit of front wing damage,
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I need to recover. I need to recover. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy to be at the podium, but it's not like I can taste the podium. You know what I mean? It's kind of you know mix of emotions, but yeah, this is good to be here.
Good. What's the plan, John? Are we going to see you in Canada? Are we going to see you in Brazil? What's the situation there?
Of course, I'm gonna be in Canada and do Brazil. Yes, of course, I'm gonna be there.
Okay.
Maybe my opportunity or chances to fight for a championship, I think today are done. But I'm gonna be like racing so hard on those 2 races left. So
Well,
let's see how it goes.
no, you get out and practice there, John, because you know you've had an opportunity. Jason might weren't here. Hopefully, pull back some points. So let's see what happens when the score comes out there, John. As well, it's going to be great seeing you in Canada and Brazil. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
As always, thanks to everyone that make this league possible. Also to you guys. Every time I finish the race and talk to you guys, I check the broadcasting and it's so amazing. So congratulations to you guys. You do an amazing job. Also, no, to everyone, thank you.
Awesome stuff there, bud. Well, we'll look forward to speaking to you soon, John. And you take care, mate.
All right, buddy. Okay, adios.
Adios. Okay, so Nathan was just cruising. He's not here next week in Canada. Amadon come out with apologies for Elliot and John, for them as well. And John's got a little bit of mixed emotions there, Biggles. What are we making from them interviews alone, really? Because it seems that people are, you know, some happy, unhappy, mixed emotions. What do we think?
Sounds like a motor race. It does, doesn't it? And it's Suzuka. That will pull out all the emotions of all these drivers, of course. The samurais at this point, bringing it, especially close to the championship, as you mentioned. We're heading off to Canada, and of course, a finale in Brazil, in Interlagos. So carnival time for some of the drivers. Other way, it'd be a party atmosphere. That's kind of it, isn't it? You know, I mentioned there, of course, Daniel Elliott-Borg, of course, will probably have a few things in the back of his mind there. Zachary, of course, after making great launches, we can't forget about Zachary's great launches, but he ended up finishing at P6 in this race, dropping a couple of places. Yes, James. That is exactly what it is. When you get to crunch time, I expect to see even more of disappointments and cheers coming from some of these teams as we make their way into the next round, of course. But part-time pros are definitely part-time bros 1 and 2.
Yeah, they definitely are, guys, as well. Well, that rounds out tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us here on the JBB YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you are watching it live, thumbs up, subscribe, turn on the bells, because we've got some great racing coming up for you. And tomorrow night we have got and my boy Dan Peoples and Callum Milam doing the Tanzo Racing GR86 there as well, the pre-practice race, of course, and then we've got myself and Ewan O'Leary doing the Radical Race Series, and then we go into the P Cup America with myself and Biggles, and then on Friday we got the SRL TCR Season 6 free race from Alton Park. And don't forget, there's no racing on Saturday. That's the only day for the last few months that we haven't got anything on. And then, of course, Sunday we're back with the P Cup round 4 of the Radical Sim Racing, and then the IGP round 5 from Magnicor. So, guys, thanks so much for joining me, everybody in the booth as well. Jamie Dengle, I hope your tooth is all right there as well. And our very own Dan Peoples. But from me and Dean Biggles up in the booth, take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on a track sometime. Good night.